What up? It's Casper. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Hot Tub Time Machine. The movie Hot Tub Time Machine is a 2010 film. It's rated R and it's an hour and 39 minutes. Directed by Steve Pink. So I remember this movie actually watching it when it first came out in the movie theaters. Just remembered how dope and visually entertaining the time traveling was at that time when I first saw it. Now in this rewatch, I'll just be straightforward. I don't recommend this movie for the reasons being there's lines in this movie that are just straight over the top. Not only straight over the top, but the actions that these characters do could definitely be a little overboard. It's crazy how when I first saw this movie that these are the moments that I totally forgot. Watching it again, I'm like, yo, how did I not even remember these moments? Besides that being a lot of over-the-top lines and over-the-top scenes in this movie, there is overreactions by a lot of these characters that sometimes could be a little bit obnoxious. I'm pretty sure there's can be people who watch this movie that could be a little too much for them. Could probably be like, yo, language. Some of the reasons why I wouldn't recommend it, the language in this movie, definitely obnoxious, loud, I'm gonna say whatever I want type of feel. The characters are just screaming bad words and screaming whatever comes on the top of their head, and that's the vibe. You do see some naked moments in this movie with some females are topless, and you see other stuff in this movie, but I do recommend the movie actually for the opposite reasons of why I don't recommend it. I think some of the lines in here that were over the top are actually pretty funny with some of the characters who just overly scream out cuss words or are screaming out just obnoxious things. If you're an open-minded person who could sit back and see this comedic performance and take it in for what it is, that's why this movie, I would recommend it for that. The humor with a lot of these characters are all unique and different personalities with these characters. You probably have met a couple people that are just like these characters in this movie. Character Lou, he's very loud. He does not care about anything. He gets drunk whenever he wants to. Lou's played by Corddry. The performance and the lines fit very well from him. It just felt like something that he could just show up to work and just really chill. Not only that, his comfortability and acting, one of those things you can tell that he's acting with the homies. He has one of those over the top lines, over the top moments. Gives me like a hillbilly, always drunk vibe, but finally made it to the city type of thing. Like how in the beginning you see that he has somewhat of beef with the character Jacob, who's played by Clark Duke. He just had that over the top attitude and over the top personality that I feel like you would see like at a sports game. Lou was pretty funny. Adam, played by Cusack, he was that character that was just chill, laid back, and really funny that he brought his nephew to the trip that they're going on. You can see that he does remember the past as well. He was a cool character. I do like the performance by him. He doesn't have like the craziest, funniest lines in here, but he is a character in this movie that still kept me entertained. Craig Robinson, I really enjoyed his character, the character Nick. Really like how they're really trying their best to cheer up their friend Lou, who, you know, is definitely suicidal, taking him on that ski trip. They're just trying their best to help him. Craig Robinson is like that super hilarious character in this movie, and then Rob Corddry, who plays Lou, is just that insane comedy character in this movie. Craig Robinson had a lot of funny moments where you can just tell he's going through it, and he had a lot of moments in here where you kind of feel for him more because like his lines were pretty entertaining and funny as well. But really enjoyed Craig Robinson's performance. Whenever I think about Craig Robinson, this is actually the movie I think of, Hot Tub Time Machine. They're hilarious what they do with Craig Robinson's character Nick in this movie. So the nephew that the whole crew brings, which is actually Adam's nephew, is the character Jacob, who's played by Clark Duke. His character and acting was good. It didn't seem sloppy. It didn't seem off at all. He was another character in this movie where I feel like he just knew every actor in this movie and he's just gonna have fun with everybody. His character definitely fit the movie. Another thing that I forgot to mention on just not recommending it but also recommending it is the fact that this movie, since they're time traveling, they time travel to the 80s. So when they get drunk and enter the hot tub, they end up time traveling to 1986 on a crazy night that they had. It's a hilarious night just because of what they did that night. One thing I want to mention, since they're time traveling to the 80s, you do get a lot of joke references from that era. So if you're not too familiar of what the 80s was about or what vibe the 80s is, another reason why I wouldn't recommend this movie, because there's just a lot of hilarious hilarious references regarding the 80s era. That same reason is why I also recommend it, because if you can understand what was going on during the 80s and, you know, during that retro time, some of these lines are gonna hit. I'm not from the 80s, but they do bring up Michael Jackson, and they do bring up here and there other stuff that was popping during that time. So if you can catch it and you can see how silly it is, then that's another reason why I'll recommend it as well. It's not the greatest storyline, but you can see what they were trying to do, the idea they're going for, and that's why I like it. I do like the time traveling effects that they're doing on the time traveling is pretty funny, but it's entertaining as well. The repairman, played by Chevy Chase, I enjoyed his character whenever he was brought up to the screen. It was just like that lucky charm of the movie. Here and there you could see some heartfelt moments with the characters. This movie is ridiculous, from being crazy outrageous to trying to have a heart in the movie, so that's why it's pretty funny. For those who don't know, it's three friends who are going back to a ski resort that they partied like crazy in the 80s. During this trip that they're going on, one of the characters, Adam, brings his nephew. So long story short, they all go to the ski resort that they partied in the 80s. It's nothing like it was back then when they were partying. They get drunk, enter a hot tub, and this hot tub is like a hot tub time machine. It takes them back to 1986, where they had a crazy night of adventure and story for days. And the only difference now is when they go back in time, if they change anything in the past, the chances of Adam's nephew Jacob being alive are very low if they keep on changing the past. So you're now watching a lot of characters understand that if they change anything, even the smallest thing in the past, it greatly affect the future. So you see these characters go through scenarios on understanding that. That's what the movie is about. They're trying to not change the past too much so that Adam's nephew Jacob could still be born. The movie is still a fun watch if you can hang with the lines and understand it. All the acting, if you understand that they're chilling and acting with homies, that makes the movie even more better. The camera direction is cool. The camera direction does fit the characters. The soundtrack does fit the vibe that they're going for. It just adds more comedic vibe in this movie. After my watching the movie Hot Tub Time Machine out of 10, I'm gonna have to give the movie a 7 out of 10. That's my movie review for the movie Hot Tub Time Machine. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.